Okay, hi Natasha, and welcome to
Hi.
the 36th Independent Film Fest Osnabrück, and also welcome to this virtual Q&A space. Thank you so much for agreeing to meeting with me today and to talk a little bit about your film, Talking Like Her, which we're excited to show in our music program as the German premiere even. So welcome.
Thank you so much, merci.
And I would like to start right at the beginning of the film. And you already did so in one of the first parts of the movie, but could you maybe talk a little bit more about the night you first sort of met Connie Converse?
Wow. So I met Connie Converse a long time ago. It was a very long-term project. It started with actually it started with a student that I met one night in a bar, and she was completely obsessed by Connie Converse, and she was like she was younger than I was, and things happened in her life that, you know, at one point it kind of like just clipped. So she told me about Connie Converse for like, I didn't know her, but she told me a lot of things about Connie Converse and about her, because it was kind of like, and she gave me that fascination that she had. You know, it's like it's a virus in a way. It's not a good time to say that, but it's yeah. I think either you're gonna love Connie Converse or you're gonna hate her. But if you love her, it's like it's a clan. It's, you know, so that's how it started.
And yeah, you also set out to sort of tell an impossible story because nobody, it's a story without an ending. It's only interpretations. And yeah, so maybe was there a point where you yourself were obsessed with needing to know what exactly happened to Connie, or was it for you more an interpretation of what she left behind? So maybe you could talk a little bit about the mystery versus interpretation, or investigation versus interpretation.
Yeah, a lot, especially in the States, a lot of people told me you should hire like a private detective, you'll have such a good film and everything. And, you know, and a lot of people, like, it's something, at that time it was different, but a lot of people were like, you know, it's like Sugar Man, searching for Sugar Man, but you don't find her at the end, you know, so it's not going to be that strong. You know what I mean? I think, maybe, I don't know because it's so long, but I think I never wanted to know really what happened to her. I don't think I was interested in that. Because, like, for example, I was in a festival in Bordeaux like 3 weeks ago, and the singers was like the guy, the manager from the festival asked her to sing Connie's song, a singer from the city. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So she was in the cinema and she sang like a Connie's song in Bordeaux in the cinema. And I was like, Connie's here. Why do you want to know where she is? She's here right now. Connie is in Bordeaux. And that's, yeah, you know, that's what I wanted.
Maybe we can talk a little bit more about Connie herself, because you said somewhere that she is both heroic and anti-socialist. So she's a hero and anti-hero for you at the same time. Can you maybe explain a little what you mean by that?
Yeah, I think for a long time I was very obsessed by this, and especially like going to the States. Like I was very obsessed by this idea of like, you know, if you are gonna make a film and you're gonna talk about someone, you're looking for, you know, like something that worked very well and that gives you like a role model or something, you know. And especially in the States, like a hero is a hero, right? And even if now we are like all moving to the step that, you know, a hero is imperfect and everything, if you look at the film we watch, like the big films, it's not true. Like all heroes are perfect. So so of course I fall in love with Connie because she was totally imperfect, and that's what made her like interesting to me, and that's what I try to, you know, I want her to be a model for people that maybe are going to be lost, lonely, and, you know, like, so they can feel like they are not, they can do something with their life, and it worth it.
Where do you think would a sort of 21st century Connie Converse would find her place?
That has been asked a lot because of the social network. It kind of like, it makes it difficult for me to answer, because I'm like, okay, let's say that like she would instead of like recording in her living room, or she would have recorded in her living room, but she would have like she would have had a place where she could have put her work without needing to face you know, an audience or something, because a lot of, like, we don't know if she really wanted to sing like in front of everybody. It doesn't seem like, I don't know, we don't know. But like the social network can be like, maybe she would have taken another name, and, you know, she would have had a pseudo, and her music would have been like put under like a slim blonde Marilyn Monroe kind of, you know, avatar.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't, it's just like, it's so different the way you produce things now, especially when, you know, that it's difficult to imagine.
I'm assuming that when you first got your hands on the filing cabinet, it was so long ago, but maybe you can remember what were your first thoughts, or did you already think about the movie or the film at that point, being fictional or documentary, or what was that experience like? Because you knew so much at that point probably, and then you got to read it firsthand.
Yeah, and part of the stuff, I mean, it kind of kills the film, but part of the stuff that were in the filing cabinet were already digitalized. So when I went to open the storage room in which the filing cabinet was with Dan and Pete, it was like, you know, like far away in the process of making the film. Like, we were already like, it's not like we found like big surprise in the filing cabinet. It was already found.
Okay.
But then it was, I still remember when I saw it for real though, because it was like a kind of, you know, an incarnation, or, you know,
yeah,
like, well, like for real, you know.
and it looked so meticulously organized,
yeah,
and
exactly,
preserved.
And it was like in a storage, because Pete's father was already dead and everything, so we put it out of the storage, and we took all the documents out so we can digitalize the one that weren't digitalized at that time and everything. And so we were sleeping in a hotel in Concord, no, in what's the name, in Ann Arbor. And I remember like all the night long I dreamt about her like a ghost, you know. It was like she was, I felt like she was under the bed with the documents, and, you know, it was like I spent the whole, because it was so real, you know, like to have like the documents for, it was not like a copy, it was like the real documents, you know. So it's, of course it's not seeing her, but it's like something that, you know, that you can touch, that you can feel, you can smell. So it's maybe the closest experience that I could have had, like, of meeting her, I guess, you know.
Yeah, it seems so. And you already talked about that experience in Bordeaux, but are there any other moments or scenarios that you have in mind, or that people told you that you talked to, where Connie felt to them really alive, or where Connie was the most alive today?
I'm thinking. I mean, except like the people from the film, but they kind of tell their own story. I couldn't attend to a lot of film festival, even when it was, you know, screened because of the virus and everything. So I didn't have that many feedback yet. I'm hoping it's gonna, because Bordeaux was the first I could go like for real. I would have liked to come to yours, but it was long distance. Anyway. Yeah, so and Bordeaux was really nice for that, because you can see like real people that didn't know her, like talking about her, you know, and it becomes so real at that time. So I hope there is going to be like so much more.
Yeah. Well, I had that connective moment in that sense. The whole film sort of sometimes revolves around where it says that she was 60 years early and the world looked the other way. Because even today, where eyes are everywhere, it's so easy to look away, or so easy to feel like something else is the center of attention at the moment. And it's essentially always someone that's left behind somewhere. So that was the experience for me watching the movie, at least.
No, but you're totally, and it's not because, of course, it's not because she could have had put her music online that it would have been any better, you know. It's even, as you said, like, if eyes are everywhere, you still need to be in the right place, you know. It's kind of like you know, like people are expecting a certain thing from you, and if you're out of the box, it still doesn't really, I mean, it works, I guess, for some people, but you know, look at the numbers on Netflix, you know, like we are all watching at the same thing. So I don't know, I'm watching or listening or whatever.
Yeah, so maybe there's even a version of a 21st century Connie where she has exactly the same experience, even though the world is so connected.
Yes, that's true. I of course, there is thousands of Connie every day, everywhere. Of course, it's not getting better.
Well, the whole process being 7 years long, is this whole story something that is still with you today, or in your creative process, or is that sort of a chapter that is now partly closed?
Yeah, no, to be completely honest, for now, I'm just waiting for good news, like opening an email and hoping that it's going to be selected somewhere. But but that's where I am now. I kind of moved on.
Okay, but a big wink into the cinema audience at this point.
That would be cool,
for the film Talking Like Her. Well, thank you so much, Natacha.
Thank you.
Don't have anything to add or that you want to say to the audience that has just watched the film?
I hope you're gonna enjoy, and be careful if you start listening to her music, because you know when it starts, it's like a long process to give it up or to get rid out of it. Sorry for my English.
Yeah, that's true. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.